Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this lecture, you are going to learn conditional statements. Conditional statements. What is meant by conditional statements? Basically, conditional statements are used to control the flow of execution of the code. It controls flow of execution of program based on the condition. Basically, Python supports the mathematical logic condition like equals to is one of the conditions and not equal and less than and greater than less than equal to and greater than. We start with the conditional statements, starting with the if statement. Basically, if statement is used to execute a block of code on a specific condition and it evaluates to the true statements. It's used to execute block of only when the condition is true. Let's write a simple syntax for this. Write the condition inside here and close with the curly braces and write the block of block that you want to execute. Not the curly braces. So you should use the indentation here I already explained indentation refers to a block of code, and it's start with the one tab space and write the statement that you want to execute. That you want to execute. If this condition is going to be true, if this condition is going to be true, and this block of code will be executed. Let's see an proper example. Let's create a variable, for example, age equal to 20, and if you want to execute that, if you are eligible to vote or not, it should be greater than 18. Age should be greater than 18 to eligible to the vote. So if the condition age is greater than equal to 18, give the indentation backspace here, and print that you want to execute the eligible to vote. Let's try this in the VS Code once. Now on the code. And see the output that you are eligible to vote because age is 20. So it is greater than or equal to 18. So you are eligible to vote. Let's see if your age is 17. And now run the code. You can see that I run the command twice, so you cannot see any output here. Let's see another simple code to if statement. Let's compare the two numbers. Equal to, let's say, 32, and B is equal to 46. And let's write condition if B is greater than A and given indentation, and B is greater than A, then I print that greater than A. And this, actually the output is given as B is greater than A because B is 46 and A is 32, and 46 is greater than 32. So the code, yeah, so the condition is true and the block is executed. Let's say B is less than A, and now run the code. I already run the code, and you can see that there is they didn't give any output here. Now let's see that we can uh, print the multiple statements in a single if. Let's try to code the same age equal to 20 and condition of if age is greater than and equal to 80, print can work or print for an adult. Also print where age is greater than 18. Let's try to run the code. You can see that the output is given in you can put your another your age is greater than 18 because the condition is true. So try to print by using the Boolean method. Let's think let's create a variable A and take a Boolean form of true is an given condition if A print anything that you want and now run the code. You can see that it gave an output of just as we run the code because we gave an Boolean form of true. Let's try with the false. And see that they didn't give any output here because it is an of Boolean form of false. Let's move to another topic called if else statements. Basically, statement is used to execute one block of code when the condition is true, and another block of code condition is false. False. Choose X one block of if the condition is false, then the condition is false. And should be another block false. Let's see the syntax, how you execute the block over here. Say, uh, you have a if condition here, and you have a block code of that you want to execute. Now there is one more condition. There is one more statement else here, and that the block you want to execute with another condition. Now when above statement is false. See now, if the condition is going to be true here, the condition is going to be true, this block of code will be executed. Otherwise, if this condition is going to be false, and now the code will jump to the else statement and execute this block of code. Now let's see with an example. Let's see with an example. If your age, let's create a variable age, this time uh, have a condition of age is greater than, so less than or equal to 2. The travel for free. This condition is going to be false, so you can execute this block of code. Great. Or ticket. Let's try to run the code. Okay, now run the code. You can see the output is giving us a travel for free, and the if block of code is executed because age is 12 and age is 10, and the condition is true because 10 is less than or equal to 12. So this block of code is executed. Let's try with an age 15 and run the. Now you can see the output as pay for ticket. Because if condition is false because 15 is greater than equal to 12, greater than 12, so this block of code doesn't execute and jumps to the else statement, and this block of code will be executed. So now let's do another example. Let's create 10 two variables. Let's compile the numbers. If the is greater than or equal to a, then is greater than is print is greater than a is greater than a, because 48 is greater than or equal to 33. So if condition is true, so it prints b is greater than a. Let's try a as 56 and the code. You can see that it given to b is not greater than a because 56 here a is greater, not a b. So if condition is going to be false and it moves to the else statement and prints. Now let's move to the another topic called ellipse statements. Basically, ellipse statement is used to check the multiple condition in a program. It's used to check multiple statements. a block of code, uh, when its condition is true, and previous conditions. Let's see how it works. Uh, Say if you have a condition that block you want to write. Uh, Write elif statement and write a condition. Uh, Here else doesn't need any condition, but for elif we should give a condition that won't execute for this condition. And you can have n number of elifs here. Have n number of elifs, and plus you can print the else statement and block of code that you want to execute. Let's see how it actually works. For example, if this condition is going to be true, then this block of code is going to be executed. If this condition is false, if this condition is going to be false, then it moves the elif statement and check the condition is true or false. If this elif condition is going to be true, and this block is going to be executed, and this continues for n number of leaves. If this condition is going to false, then it goes to another elif and checks its condition. At last, if all the elif state condition is going to be false, then this else block code is going to be executed. This is how an elif statement works. Let's try with an example. Let's have an example here. Let's take a variable of age 25, and if tell and write the condition if age is greater than equal to 12, it's print so it's less than or equal to 12, print say it's okay, print the condition is age is greater than less than equal to 90, and it's if age is less than or equal to 45. And as a thing, that see every condition is going to be false, then it is else. Ring adult. Let's try this code in VS. Let's run the code. You can see that output is given as an young adult because age is 25. Uh, let's see how it actually works. Here, first we have an age 25, and it goes to it checks the condition of if first, checks age if condition it is false here because 25 is not less than or equal to 12, so it false, and it moves to the second one which is elif, and it checks now this condition, and this condition also false because 25 is not less than 90. Now let's check. Now it goes to another elif condition, and it check the condition. Here the condition is true because 25 is less than or equal to 35. So this condition is true. So this block of code is going to be there. So you can check that the block of code that going to be output is young adult. You can see the output is young adult. Now let's check for another input. So let's make the if statement is true for 11. You can see the output is 8. Let's make the ellipse statement as true, then set 18. Run the code. See that the output is given as a teenager. Let's make every condition is going to be false now. It's 46, and this else statement is going to be run because every condition is false here. Run the code. See that the output is given as adult here. Now let's see with another example. Let's compare numbers now. Let's say 8 equal to 32 equal to 30. Work have a condition if B is greater than A, print is greater than A. And if B is equal to A, and is equal to A. Let's see the both condition is going to be false. Let's see, right? Greater than A. Now let's run the code. You can see that the output is given as B is equal to A, because A is 32 and B is also 32, and B is equal to A. This condition is going to be true here, so uh, it prints this block of code. To the another topic called nested if statements. Basically, nested if statements is nothing but if statements having inside an if state. Let's see how it works with an perfect picturized. See how it works. If we have a condition here, inside you have one more mistake. If it is and its condition. And this if you want to print that you want to execute, else statement was say if condition else and print that you want to execute here. This we have an else statement. Execute the proper. Now let's see how it actually works. When this condition is going to be true, and it check and again it checks this condition inside whether it is true or not. If it is true, this block of code is going to be executed. Otherwise, if this condition is going to be false, then it jumps to the else statement and execute this block of code. Yeah. Otherwise, if this condition is going to be false, and then it jumps to the else statement, and this block of code is going to be executed. Let's have an example problem here. Let's say age is 70. So have an Boolean function also here equal to. Otherwise, let's compare the two numbers. So it's x equal to 41. Let's get if x is greater than 10, this block of code is going to be executed. Let's take this above 10. If we have nested it, so okay, now inside this if, let's print if x is greater than 20, print print also about it's in what more about it. Let's try this code and now VS Codes. You can see that the output is given as about 10 and also about 20 because it checks this condition first. It is true, so it is statement, and also checks this condition and it is also going to be true. So and also prints it's this statement. And so when nested if it's going to be run. Let's see about the past statement. Basically, if statement cannot be empty. If you keep it as a empty and you execute the code, it gives an error. Instead of this, we can use an past statement here. So it doesn't give any error. Let's have an example. A is 33 and B is 46. If A is less than B, pass. Let's run this. And now run the code. And now run the code once again. You can see that it successfully given an empty out there is no output here. Let's try with removing the pass statement here. See that it's giving us a error because it giving us an indentation error. Let's give tab space in the and see that without giving the pass statement, it is giving an error. So you should definitely need an pass statement here to execute the code. Finally, you can see that the code is successfully executed, but we cannot use, we don't get any output here. Let's go to the another operator, another type. So we can use how to use logical operator. Basically, logical operator are used to combine the conditional statements. It combines conditional statements. First one here is and. Basically, and returns true if the both statements are going to be true. It it returns when statements are true, conditions are true. And second one is or operator. It returns true when the one of the condition is going to be true. Section is so there is another operator called not. It basically reverse the result. Uh, reverse the result. The how it is going to look here. So it when the output when we give the true, it changes to false. True, it changes to false. False, and vice versa. Let's use an AND operator here for an example. Let's use an AND operator first. With an example, let's say A equal to 200 and B equal to 33, thus C equal to say 500. If A is greater than B and C is greater than A, print both conditions are Let's run the code once. Yes. See the output here is both conditions are true because A 2200 is greater than 33 and this condition is true, and C is 500 and B is 33. So 500 is greater than 33. So both conditions are here. So we use the AND statement. So this block of code is going to be run. Now let's choose an OR operator. OR operator, let's say take example with the same example. Let's use OR and let's is the one condition is true. So try to run this code and see the output is going at least one condition is true. Here let's it checks the both condition and here the both condition is true. Let's change A is greater than C and let's see whether it is running or not. You can see the output is here is at least one condition is true because OR operator checks whether at least one condition is true or not. Here it gives an it is true and it is false. Yet we have a one true statement, so it prints the output. Then a not operator here. Statement is 33 again. The P has 200. If no is print is not greater than X, like this code in resource. The output is given here as A is not greater than B because this statement is false here. You can see that it is false, but when you use a not, it reverses the statement, so it becomes a true, and this condition is going to be that. Let's move to the another topic on match statement. Statement. Basically, the match statement is used to perform different actions based on different conditions. It's all different. Correct actions. Instead of writing many if-else statements, you can use match case here. For example, let's say how we write the syntax. No syntax. First, you want to write the match and you want to write the expression here. Use identification. So case the block of code that you want to execute here. Now use n number of cases according to the condition and program of that you want to execute. Is how you write syntax. Let's see with an example. An example. Okay. They equal to variable and a match let's say case there is a number of one, case one. Basically here number four refers to here the case four there is a case four, then it prints the block of code which is inside the case four. It's case case two, then print as wait mistake, and you can print this. It's directly seen in the VS Code. So you have case three. It's Thursday. So you have a case four Friday. Right here to say that you can, I think you can understand when you write the code. So change here once. 6 as a lucky day. Case 7 is Sunday. Given as a Thursday because that we should match the day 4 and that it checks the first one, it is 1, so it checks the case number 2, it is not, so checks the number 3. That is a day 4, and here it's case 4, it prints the Thursday. Now, if you have a days of 5 and now run the code, you can see the output as a Friday. Let's know what is meant by default value, default case. Basically, default value is nothing but when you don't have any case in the statement. Let's say you have an number 8 and you run the code, you can see that there is no output here. So you, instead of that, you can use a default case. That is a case underscore. So let's print the big number is not exist. Here we take day as a week number here because let's day 1 is take as a Monday and day 2 as a Tuesday and so on. We don't have a 8th day in a week, so let's run the code. You can see that the output is given as a week number is not exist. Sorry, should not is not exist. So not exist and now run the code again. You can see the output here is week number is not exist. Now use of an default value and the support the match case statements. Now let's solve some of the problem based according to our topic today. Let's starting with a simple question to know whether the given number is positive, negative, or a zero number. So let's take an input from the user this time and set that. And so statement if number is greater than zero, you know that if number is greater than zero, when it then it is known as a positive number. It, let's say if number is equal to zero, then it is known as a zero. So if number is greater than zero, less than zero, so it's uh, elif. We no need to give any condition here. else. Else rate negative. Now let's run the code. See that it is asking an input from us. So let's give an number 3 and enter. You can see that output is given as a positive number. Let's run one more time and let's now put an 0 and enter. You can see that output is given as a 0. Now let's run one more time and this time let's just give a negative number -4 and you can see that output is given as negative number. This is how you check and whether the number is positive, negative, or 0. Now let's solve another simple problem where checking how to check an even or odd numbers. Checking check even or odd number. You know that even number is divisible by 2. So that we have an condition that if an number is divisible by 2, number is divisible by 2, then it is an even number. So that remainder should be 0 here, right? So anything take a number so that our reminders should be 0 so that we can say that it is an even number. Solve the problem in the VS Code. Take an input from the user. Uh, if here num remainder is 0, we can say that it is an even number. It is an odd number. Now let's run the code. Run the code once. It is asking the input from the user. Let's take 4. So it given as even number because 4 is an even number. So let's run the code again and given it gave an output odd number because 3 is an even number. This is how we check an even or odd numbers. Now let's solve another problem that is about the leap year. You know what is meant by leap year? Basically, leap year consists of like 365 days. And the last leap year was in 2024. Write the code for this. And let's see what are the conditions for this for a leap year. Basically, leap year will divisible by 400. And there is also one more condition that divisible by 4. Divisible by 4. And it should not divisible by 100. By 100. And any one of the condition can be true. Let's see for an example. If you take a last leap year is in 2024, we can see that it it doesn't divisible by 400. But you can see that it is divisible by 4 and it is also is not divisible by 100. So here one of the condition is true. So it can be said that it is a leap year. We can use an OR operator here for this. So let's try this in the VS Code. Let's take an input from the user here equal to int of enter here. So I already explained the condition. So here should divisible by 400 or here should divisible by 4 and it should not divisible by say that it should be divisible by 4 and divisible by 4 and it should not divisible by 100. Now we give an indentation here and print it is a leap year. Else it is not a leap year. Here it take an input of 2024 because it's a leap year. You can see that output is given as a leap year. Let's run one more time. Let's take this time as a 2023 and it's not a leap year. This is how we check an leap year. Let's do one more problem like a simple calculator like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And make sure that when you're doing a division, we cannot divide any value within 0 because we get an infinite. So we should not divide with 0. So let's take an input from the user. Let's take a float of Also taken float values if you want. So I'm taking an integer only. And the first fall. Let's go to the another input. Enter the second value. And now so take an operator from the uh, operator. Plus, minus, and multiplication. And another operator is taken as division. Let's print this. Let's if operator is plus, so as it is in the string, is plus, print the result is an a plus b. Only we take an operator as a separation. Then result of between subtraction of two inputs. We do the multiplication. Print the result before multiplication. Next case also, instead of using a number of else elif statements, when you come to the division, I already said that it should not contain the zero. We cannot divide anything, any value with zero. So we should use nested if in the statement. If operator and we should use a difference again here, because if b is not equal to zero, you can simply divide it. But if when b is zero, we cannot divide it. Right? So, so it will put like let's do a false statement in cannot zero. Last statement is when you print another symbols, we can use an invalid operator. Okay. Now let's see the entire code. Let's run the code now. Should give an first value as free. Let's take an operator of plus. You can see that it gave a result of 5. So let's run it again. Let's take second again 3 and second input as 2. Now let's take a subtraction operator. You can take 3 minus 2 as 1. Let's run one more time. And now let's take 3 and away. Now let's use a multiplication operator, and you can see that it is 6 plus 3. 3 times of 2 is 6. Let's run one more time. Now let's take another value of 6. The second value as 2. Okay. You can see it gave a result of 3. When you divide an two integers, we will get only float, not as an integer. So let's run one more time. Take an 6. Second value as 0 now. Now let's run the code. Later, run the code. So we cannot, it even output of we cannot divide it as 0. So let's run one more time. Take any input. And now given the operator which are not present here. So let's take a reminder and now run the code. So there is no one reminder here, so it gave an invalid operator. Now let's build one more problem. I'm building the restaurant menu. So let us use a match this statement here. Let's take let's write our menu here. Pizza. Number one is a pizza. Reports. Take second input as burger. Input the we are giving menu. Third as sandwich. And fourth as so fourth is the sixth the one. Let's say one input choice. So choice. So choice. So one right, selected pizza. And the price also. It's like this take as that is even 100 of books. Let's take uh, $15. Let's take case case two, and it's selected logo, and print its price also. This latest take was $10. Let's take case was case three, print you selected sandwich. Yes. As we see, so print like let's also create the default case, says present invalid false. We can one thing from here. Let's take I want to pick burger. So I use a you can see that is a burger and its price is of $10. Sorry, I didn't give an I show the see the output. I selected the burger and price this time. I just forgot to give an price to the sandwich. Step price as $10. And one more time. So now I want to make a sandwich. So you all charge is three, and you run you selected the sandwich and it's $10. I run the one the code again. No, let's I don't like anything, so I want to exit. So yeah, thank you. And that's why let's take an choice five which doesn't exist. So we get an invalid choice here. So let's see. And then prove once. Let's just do one more important problem that we can understand everything in this problem about the ATM using. So let us print let, let us use a match case first, checking the balance. Check the balance. We know that let us create a variable first. If you want to check and balance, let's take a variable and let us be the 10,000 as a balance. If you want to check the balance, you directly can print the balance here. If you want to print Second choice is to deposit the money. You should take another variable called let us have then some amount so we can deposit. So it should be greater than zero. If it is less than zero, we cannot deposit it. So should be greater than zero so that we can deposit so that the balance can be amount plus balance again. Now let's have one more thing that withdrawal. In the withdrawal also we should withdraw greater than zero so we can then the balance will be the ba balance minus withdrawal, and also make sure that withdrawal shouldn't be the greater than the balance. Take withdraw, draw, mine, and last we can exit. These are the four options we have. Option is to accept. Let us have our choice now. Input from the user, enter the choice, enter the choice, use the match case, match our choice, and as a withdrawal so we can directly print that, and balance, your balance is the depositing money, so it should definitely be the greater than zero. So if we want to deposit, we should have an amount. So let's take an amount as one more input from the user. Now phase three. So yeah, for and if amount definitely should be greater than three, greater than zero. Then only you can deposit the money. So balance will be balance plus amount, balance plus amount. Uh, amount depositor successfully. Uh, balance. Also print the balance after depositing the money. Else, You can print it invalid amount. Is it's about the withdrawal company. So we should take an input from the user. Okay. Enter the the amount. So greater than zero. And zero. So greater than zero. So that we can check the balance also. Amount should be greater than zero and uh, be less than the balance. That can take otherwise let's take less than or equal to zero first and print the invalid amount. Now let's take elif once again. Elif amount is less than the balance. You can take a print. So amount is greater than balance. You can take it as insufficient balance. As balance will be balance minus of amount. So you can print switch also this good. Balance is that like case for print up. Thank you. Wait, the default is when you have a choice of other than five, four or five. And there is an increase in invalid choice because cannot take other than one, two, three, four in value. So let's first want to check the balance. So you want to take first one, so you can have the balance. So let us run again. We want to deposit the money. So we want to choose number two. and enter the money that I want to deposit. So I want to deposit a piece of 2000. So that balance will be 10,000 plus 2000, it will be 12,000. And let us run again and have first number 3, then withdrawal amount. I want to withdraw and 3,000 rupees. And run the code. So 10,000 minus 7,000 will be the balance with 3,000. And let us deposit and it is less than 0. Let us see what it is to it was minus 2,000. So it is an invalid first because we cannot deposit amount of less than 0. Now let us run one more time. So now let us withdraw the amount greater than the balance. So I want to withdraw the amount of 12,000. You can see that it is an invalid source. We cannot withdraw amount which is greater than the balance. So this is how to build an ATM using Minion. So let us have entire code once. This entire code that and this is for today, guys. And let us see in the next lecture. Thank you. Guys, welcome back to my channel. In this lecture, we are gonna learn about the loops. Basically, loops are used to execute block of code repeatedly until a condition is going to be true. So, block of code. The condition is going to be. Basically, there are two types. First one is for loop, and second one is while loop. Start with for loop. Basically, for loop is used to iterate over a sequences, such as a list, tuple, string, and we can also use the range. So, if you iterate over the sequence. Also, you can use range. Let's see with an example. Let us take a n as a value of 4. And if you want to print up to the 4 digits, you can use for loop for I. Let's create a variable I in range. give an indentation here and print value. Let's try this in VS Code once. So basically here n equal to 4 stores an ending value for the loop. So here n is placed as a 4. Range 0 to n generates a number from 0 to 3. And for I in range 0 to n, it iterates through each number in the range. Or it iterates over 0 and up to the n place. So 1, 2, 3. We want to print I here and run the code. You see that the output is given as 0, 1, 2, 3. Make sure that if you want to print up to the nth n equal to 4, you should add n plus 1 here and I can run. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's choose an list with an example. Let's create a list equal to A. Print every item in the list. Use a for loop for I in A. Every item is being printed. With an string. Let's have a string of so great. It's for the I in A. Right, right here. And the output will be given as every character in the string. It's gonna run taking each and character from the A. So when it comes to J, it is in the A, so it brings J, and it takes again A, and it's gonna print like that. Let's see how this code gonna work for I in range to 6. It doesn't print the 6 because it takes up to the n minus 1, so it take up to the 6 minus 1 up to 5 only. So even indentation and the print to the 5. So the value is gonna print up to the 5. Let's see how this gonna work. Start here. Create a range here from 1 to 6. 1 to 6. We create an eyewear layer, so it creates from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Takes an I equal to 1 and it prints 1. It's gonna continue until the 5 is gonna end. Now it takes I equal to 2, prints 2 because it is in the range of 1 to 6, and it's gonna continue and stop and so on. To It's gonna continue with I equal to 3 and I equal to 4, and it's gonna end with I equal to 5. So it is gonna end with I equal to 5 because it is the last item present in the range. And it's gonna print of 5 also. This we don't have no more values, so it exits the loop. Let's see with an code of list. Let's take a variable of list. See how it's gonna work here also. Let's take a similarly it's take an in place of when we take an variable like a. Let's take a. It starts the for loop and it takes an first item from the a, that is a, and prints a similar to the range it follows the loop, and it takes the b and prints the b, and it's so on and up to the last element it takes an last element b and prints it. After t we don't have any item, so it exists for loop. It happens in the same with the strings. It takes every character within the string and prints it. Now let's talk about the break statement. Basically, break statement is used to stop the loop before it has been looped through and all the items. Let's see an example. Uh, it stops the loop before it has looped all the items. Let's see with an example. Let's create an list. Want to print up to the C only. You should use the break. It's uh it's the for loop. Print the X. Now use the if statement. If X is equal to C, break. Now let's see how it's gonna work. Uh, it prints the X value for here, first A, and it checks the condition. So A is not equal to C, so it doesn't uh, written the block of code, so there is no use of break here. So next again it prints a B. Now it prints the B here, and it checks the condition is B is equal to C or not. So it is not equal to C, so it again returns to the loop. Now it takes the C here. So it prints the C value and checks the condition. The condition is going to be true. Now it's gonna break the loop now, and it prints up to the C. Now let's see in the VS Code. No, from the code. Sorry, it should be in the string. From the code. Clearly see that the output is given up to the C only. Now, if you want to print up to B, you can also print the up to the B, but instead of using print X here, let's print at the last. Now, after checking the condition only, now it will print the X. In before problem, I printed first and I checked the condition, so the C is printed. Now if you check the this one, first it will check the C. It is going to be to the true, and it's gonna break the for loop. So here C doesn't print here. So let's run the code. You can see the output. It's only giving A and B, not C. Now let's move to another topic called continue statement. Uh, let's see what is the use of the continuous statement. Continuous statement is used to stop the current iteration of the loop, not exiting the loop. It only stops the current iteration. So current iteration. Now let's see with an example. Let's take an list again, similar list. Want to print all of the items, and the only item you should not want to print is B. You can use the continuous statement here. Let's take X if X is gonna be continue. Now print the let's try in the VS Code once and I will explain it. And see the output is given as ACD. Here the B is gonna let's see how it's gonna work. It for first time it takes an 8, checks the condition, so it's gonna false. So it prints the value. Now takes the value B and checks the condition. Now it's gonna be true and it's gonna uh, continue. I said continue is used to iterate the statement. So it iterates, it stops the basically continue is used to stop the present iteration. So if this condition is going to be true, stops the iteration and it's going to be loop again. Now it takes the value C and condition is going to be false and print the value. This is how an continuous statement is going to be work. Now let's see about the pass statement. It is similar we use in the if conditions. Where loop cannot be the empty. If loop will be the empty, it's gonna give an error. So fixing range and take any for loop on to 4. If you gonna pass, it doesn't print anything, but it's gonna be run without an error. You can see that it is successfully executed, but it don't give any output. Let's see without using a pass statement. See that it is giving an indentation error here. Let's see about the nested loops. Basically, nested loops is nothing but a loop inside the loop. The most important point here is the inner loop will be executed one time for each iteration of the outer loop. the inner loop will be executed once for each iteration. Uh, let's see with an example. Let's take an green. Another color will be, well, if was it gonna execute once and take fruits. Let's take only the fruits that belongs to the above. Right? Red color will be the apple and it will be tasty and also meat. So let's take some random fruits, not only with the color. Let's take cherry, which is also red. Let's take some random fruit. Let's take a banana. Next look here for Excel. A. For onions and it went on the previous ones. It should be in the other reports. Let's run the code. Just a minute. You can see the outputs here: red apple, red cherry, red banana, big apple. So here, first iteration for the outer loop is red. So it takes in red. I already said that for inner loop, wanna runs for once for every iteration of outer loop. So it takes in red first because it's in first iteration. So it's gonna print with all the fruits that are in the inside inner loop. So it takes in first iteration red and gonna print all the fruits that are because it is an inside loop. So again it takes in second iteration as big and we're gonna print all the fruits that are present here. So this is how an nested loop is gonna work. Now let's talk about the break statement. Basically, break statement is used to stop the loop before it has been looped through and all the items. Let's see an example. Uh, it stops the loop before it has to all the items. Let's see with an example. Let's create an list. Want to print up to the C only. You should use the break. It's the for loop. Print the X. Now use the if statement. If X is equal to C, break. Now let's see how it's gonna work. Uh, it prints the X value for here, first A, and it checks the condition. So A is not equal to C, so it doesn't uh, written the block of code. So there is no use of break here. So next again it prints a B. Now it prints the B here, and it checks the condition is B is equal to C or not. So it is not equal to C, so it again returns to the loop. Now it takes the C here, so it prints the C value and checks the condition. The condition is going to be true. Now it's going to break the loop now, and it prints up to the C. Now let's see in the VS Code. No, from the code. Sorry, it should be in the screen. From the code. Clearly see that the output is given up to C only. Now, if you want to print up to B, you can also print the up to B, but instead of using print text here, let's print at the last. Now, after checking the condition only, now it will print the X. In before problem, I printed first and I checked the condition, so the C is printed. Now if you check the this one, first it will check the C. It is going to be to the true, and it's gonna break the for loop. So here C doesn't print here. So let's run the code. You can see the output. It's only giving A and B, not C. Now let's move to another topic called continuous statement. Uh, let's see what is the use of the continuous statement. Continuous statement is used to stop the correct iteration of the loop, not exiting the loop. It only stops the current iteration. So current iteration. Now let's see with an example. Let's take an list again, symbol list. Want to print all of the items, and the only item you should not want to print is B. You can use the continue statement here. Let's take a call. Excellent. If X is gonna be continue, now print the. Let's try in the VS Code once, and I will explain it. And see the output is given as ACD. Here, the B is gonna. Let's see how it's gonna work. It for first time it takes an 8, checks the condition, so it's gonna false. So it prints the value. Now it takes the value B and checks the condition. Now it's gonna be true, and it's gonna uh, continue. I said continue is used to iterate the statement. So it iterates, it stops the basically continue is used to stop the present iteration. So if this condition is going to be true, stops the iteration, and it's going to be loop again. Now it takes the value C, and condition is going to be false, and it prints the value. This is how an continuous statement is going to be work. Now let's see about the pass statement. It is similar we use in the if conditions. Where loop cannot be the empty. If loop will be the empty, it's gonna give an error. So fixing range and take any for loop on to 4. If you gonna pass, it doesn't print anything, but it's gonna be run without an error. You can see that it is successfully executed, but it don't give any output. Let's see without using a pass statement. See that it is giving an indentation error here. Let's see about the nested loops. Basically, nested loops is nothing but a loop inside the loop. The most important point here is the inner loop will be executed one time for each iteration of the outer loop. The inner loop will be executed once for each iteration. Uh, let's see with an example. Let's take an green. Another color will be 12. Take was it gonna execute once and take fruits. Let's take only the fruits that belongs to the above. Right? Red color will be the apple and it will be tasty and also meat. So let's take some random fruits, not only with the color. Let's take cherry, which is also red. Let's take some random fruit. Let's take a banana. Next, look here for Xing, A, for onion, and take and run the and yes ones. It should be in the other fruits. Solve few problems based on the loops. Starting with a problem, sum of n natural numbers. Let's create an input for n. Yeah, input because we know we need n natural numbers, so we should get input from the user. So let's create an variable total equal to 0 because it stores an sum here. The running it stores an running sum. Let's use a for loop, and I will explain the code. Uh, it should start with the 1 because there is no use when you start with the 0 because anything adding with 0 it will give the same value, and ending should be n plus 1 because you should give the sum of n natural numbers, so n should be included, so it should use n plus 1, and this and total is used to store the sum, so should add it with an I. Exit the loop and print the total, and now run the code. Here I entered the number. Let's take up 4. So the output is given as a 10 because sum of n natural number is 10. So I'll explain this code. Let's take I've taken input from the user is I've taken the input from the user is 4, 4. Now the total that we taken is 0 at starting. Now when we come to the loop, it takes an present iteration is I equal to 1, and it runs the code. Its total value is 0. So this meaning is nothing but a total. This meaning is nothing but a total equal to total plus 8. So when you put an I equal to 1, the total will become 1. Now like it moves to the next iteration. So I will explain you that total plus 1. So it will be nothing but an the value of total is 0. So 0 plus I value is 1, present iteration value is 1. So this become 1. Now, now we'll move to the second iteration, that is 2. So now the total value becomes uh, here the total value is here the total value becomes 1. So the and now the present iteration I value is 2. So that equals to 3. No, now the third we'll go to the third iteration I equal to 3. Now the total value becomes here the total value is 3. So 3 plus and the iteration value, present iteration value is 3, I value. And after will becomes 6. And next iteration is next iteration is 4. Now the it is an last iteration. So total value is 6 plus 4. 6 is the last total value that we got, and the fourth is the iteration value, present iteration value. So it will become such that as it is a last iteration, it will the output is 10. Output is 10, and when print the total value, so output will be 10. Let's see this in the VS Code. We got an output as a 10. This is how you present an sum of unnatural numbers. Now let's solve another problem, that is about the factorial of number. Of a number. Uh, Factorial is nothing but an I'll explain with an example. For example, you have taken a digit is 5 and you want to find the 5 factorial. It is nothing but it is the symbol that it shows for a factorial in mathematics. 5 factorial is nothing but 5 multiplication, 3 multiplication, 2 multiplication, and this is nothing but a factorial. If you want to find a 6 factorial, it's nothing but a 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. This is how you find a factorial. Let's see with a coding problem. Let's take an input from the user. They can enter the value that you say kind of factorial function which stores an running factorial. We start with 1 because when we multiply any value with a 0, it gives 0. So we should start with any value 1. So with I've taken a variable 1 here. No, it's given the range. Uh, range should be up to the I plus 1, n plus 1. It should be up to the n plus 1. And factorial is nothing but multiplications. See, like exit the load and run the code. And mistake there. I and now run the code. You can see the output here. See that it's giving an enter value. Let's give an input 4. So you can see that value is given as 4 because 4 times of 3 into 2, I mean, 4 times of 6 is 24. So explain this problem as I explained the last problem. Iteration, let's take I equal to 1. So it will factorial becomes uh, the factorial is 1 times of presentation 1. It gives 1. And let's go to the second iteration, and the fact becomes 1 times of iteration here. So it becomes 2. Let's move to the second third iteration 3. Fact becomes 2 times of 3 will become 6. And the last iteration, that is 4. And that becomes 6 times of 4, and the value is 24. So as it is a last, so the output will become it's in last iterative, so output becomes 24. You can see the output is given as a 24. How you find a factorial. That also do the another problem, counting the digits. Yes, counting the digits is nothing but I'll show you through an example. For example, if you have a base number and you want to know how many digits are in this. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there are 6 digits. So we'll find the code how to get those. Take an input from the enter the number. Let's take an variable that stores count 0. Let's take the condition. We use while loop here. While num is greater than 0, that's the condition. The count will become plus equal to 1. I already explained what is meant by float division. Float division is nothing but it round offs the division value and finally we'll print the count. Let's run the code and give the output, give the input as a 5-digit number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now run the code. You can see that it gave an output of 5. Explains entire problem step by step. For example, we have taken a number that is a 5-digit number that we take 5, 6, and we use it a while loop here. So the condition is going to be true because 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is greater than 0. So it moves to the count. So count becomes 0 plus 1. That is 1. So and it becomes the num becomes 5, 6 float digit 10. Take a number. We were dividing with the 10 here. That is dividing with 10. which is 2, 3, 4, 5, and it comes to 0. Comes 6, and let's take and we put a point here that becomes 60 and it will goes to 6. Here the answer is 2, 3. When you divide with a 10, 5. So when we use a float decision, it round off the value with less than so which is less than this, it round off with that. So up to 3, 5, then works. So the num becomes here. So the num becomes 2, 3, 4, 5, and the count becomes 1. Similarly, and step again, it checks the while loop. So it again, so here again condition is going to be true. So it is gonna run again. So the count will be this time complex point and becomes to the then you do the float digit with the step. So it will be 5 float digit with 10. Now it will become become 1.3, 4. And this is gonna continue here. And checks the loop condition. It's going to be true. Again, it's gonna count 2 plus 1, and it's gonna count to 3. So num again becomes 2, 3 this time. So it's gonna check the while loop again. It's going to be true. So the count becomes 3 plus 1 becomes 4, and the num becomes 2. And it again checks the while loop condition. It's now again it's gonna be true. So count becomes 3 plus 4 plus 1 this time, so it becomes 5. So num becomes 0 this time. When you divide, so When you divided 10 with 2, use 0.2, the nearest value that which is descending, so it will become 0. So the final output the count is 5. So output will be 5. This is how you find a number of digits, and you can see the code, and you can also see the output. Let's run one more time and check with another value. So enter the value 2, 3, and now run the code. You can see the number of digits there, 23. This is how you can count counting the digits. So let's do another coding problem that is a palindrome number. Let's see what is meant by palindrome with an what is meant by palindrome. Let's see with an example. Palindrome is nothing but when you start an from starting the digit 1, 2, 3 up to the mid should be equal to the starting with an ending 1, 2. This is known as a palindrome number. Let's see how to code this. Let's take an input from the user, that is number. Let's take an variable. Let's take an original as a variable, and it should be equal to number. We just compare original with an reverse number, so that's why we're using this. So reverse. That the value when we reverse the I look here again. So in this question, we are gonna cover the how to reverse the number also. So let's take and take it. This is how you reverse a number. Just find the digits remainder first, and reverse times of and let's take division with the and now exit the loop and compare the reverse number and the original number. If both are equal, we can say that it's a palindrome. If both are not equal, we cannot say that it's a palindrome. So use an if else statement here. Else we can say that it's not a relative. Let's run the code. Let's run the code. So you can see that it is asking an input. So let's give an answer. And now run the code. We can see that it's giving output of palindrome. Let's take another uh, inputs 1, 2, 3 and say that it's not a palindrome. Let's take another input. Let's take simply it's a palindrome because it's the starting value and it is the ending value. This is how we check and palindrome number. Let's see. Read. Check. Now. So let's take an input that is a palindrome. Now let's see how we'll first we want to reverse the digit to the original value. You can say that it is a palindrome number. So when we write starting to ending and same thing we should start with ending and to the last. So it should be equal. So we can do palindrome. So starting with an how to reverse the number. So it's, we have taken the digit as one more variable. So in digit, we simply get, we want to get that reminder of this. When we get a reminder, so when we reminder 1, 2, 3, it's 10, we get the last digit. We'll get an only last digit. So that is 1. So when we do this, we'll get an a reminder with 10. So we'll get the last digit. So the digit become here as 1 and it reverse this. Plus 0 times of 10 plus digit value is 1. Now I already explained the floor division with intent, so we will get 10 of 1, 2, 3, 2. Similarly, it checks an condition. It's going to loop again because the condition is going to be 2 here. So the digit here becomes 2 and reverse becomes, what is the reverse value here is a 1 times of 10 plus the digit is 2. It's gonna be 12. So it's gonna be 12 and here I is 1. I'm gonna become 1, 2, 3. So it checks the condition again, it's gonna be true. So we're gonna loop again. So the digit becomes 3 this time. The digit gonna become 3. And we're gonna use reverse again. Reverse is gonna become what is the last value of reverse? That is 12. So 12 times of 10 plus 3, that's gonna become 123. So similarly, num becomes 12. It's gonna check again condition, it's going to be 2 again, so the digit becomes digit becomes 2 and the reverse becomes 1, 2, 3 multiplies of 10 plus uh, 2. That's gonna become 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. And the num becomes 1 this time. So it's gonna check the condition again, it's going to be true and it's gonna loop again. It becomes 1 and reverse becomes 1, 2, 3, 2 times of 10 plus 1. So gonna become 1, 2, 3, and 1. So the num becomes 0 and it checks the condition. Now it's going to be false and it exit the loop. So when we want to print that reverse number, so output will be 1, 2, 3, and 1. This the output. You can see the output here in the VS Code. When you wanna run, submit, run the code once. So enter the number. You can see it's in palindrome because we're going to check the condition again here. This is how you check a palindrome number. Now let us gonna solve one more problem about the prime numbers. Let's print the given number is prime number or not. Basically, you know that prime number is nothing but a number which divides with a number which basically divides with one and itself. So let's create that. So num the example of prime numbers, you know, the 2, 3, 5, and so on. So because here 2 divides with 1 and itself, and also 3 and also 5. 4 divides with 1, 2 and itself. So we got 2 here. So we cannot say that it's a prime number. We can we can say that it's a prime number. Sorry. So enter the number. Let's check that count. For I you want to print it directly, you can. So change from 1 to number plus 1 to C for this. So we are using the count but to get that. If I is 0, count becomes 1. So we're going to exit the loop now. Use the if now. Count is equal to 2. Print that's a prime number. Else count should be also print the not prime. Let's run the code. You can see that it's asking an input. So let's give an input of 4. Let's see that's giving an not a prime. Let's check for a 3. So it's giving them prime because our string is code properly. With an taking an example output. So take a number which is a prime. Let's take kind of 5, and also let's take another number which is not a prime and check it. So basically, if or num divides with an I, it should be equal to 0 and count will become count plus 1. It's an condition. So let's say the 5 percentage 1 will not be equal to 0. So first condition is equal to false. So we're gonna loop again. So 5%. Ooh. So it will become 0. So 2. Its remainder is not 0. 5 remainder with 3 is also not in 0. So when it becomes a 0, the count becomes count plus 1. So your count the 0 plus 1. So count becomes 1. So now it will become it's not equal to 0. Finally, with the of 5, now it will become remainder becomes 0. So that count again becomes count plus 1. So the last count value here is 1. So 1 plus 1. So it becomes 2. So here we check the condition now. You can see if count equal to 2. So here the count value is 2. So we can say that it's a prime. So the output will be sorry. And let's see with another example. Let's take now with the 4. For it's not a prime number, so I'm taking an 4. So let's check the condition. So 4 percent 4 remaining 1 will become a 0. So count value will be 0 plus 1. Now let's check with 2. Again here we'll get a remainder 0. So when you get the 2 and remainder will be 0. So remainder will be 0. Now the count becomes 1 plus 1, that is 2. Now it checks with 3 will not be equal to 0 reminder. So now it checks with the 4. Now the remainder will be 0 and count becomes 2 plus 1, that is 3. Now this count becomes 3, then this is the final iteration. So let's check the if else statement here. So here the count becomes 3 there. So if statement is going to be false, so it moves to the else and prints the else statement. So the output will be the output will be not prime. So then check in the VS Code, run with the same thing. So we give 5. So it given prime as an output. When give an input of 4, you can see it being as a not prime. This is how you check an prime numbers. Let's solve another problem. Counting the vowels. Vowels. Let's take an input which is a string text equal to input equals iteration string the number of vowels. So let's take an variable count in which we can store the values or counting values. So for ch in text dot let's make all the lower letters or let's make all the uppercase letters. I'm choosing a lowercase. If you want, you can use uppercase also. So uh, should we have a condition that vowels are only A, I, O, U. It might be capital, it might be the lower. So I, O, U, and now count becomes this one. Now exit the loop, print the count. And now the code. Clear all this. here all this. So I could change a small thing here. That is, I should not give a string because really it's a variable. We cannot give a string there. So let's run the code. So let's take all the characters and run the code. It's giving a number of vowels are two. That's there are only two pairs which are vowels. So it's given a count A, count two. If you want to print A, I will be okay. Let's run one more time. Let's run one more time. Let's just do A, I will use this type. It's giving an output of 5 because they are all vowels. Let's check how we use this. And let's go. So let's take an input. Let's take input as a say I O. You can see that the number of vowels are A, E, I, O. There are four vowels. Let's see if we can get in correct output or not. So first we can get text dot here. So text becomes A, I, O, U. So A is J, I, O, U. So and check the condition CH in A, I, O, U. And the checks every first iteration A. So A is in A, I, O, U. So the condition is going to be, if condition is going to be true, so the count becomes, CH becomes A, and now count becomes 0 plus 1, that is a 1. And now it checks E, and it again E is in A, I, O, U if condition is going to be true. So count becomes say 1 plus 1, that is 2. Now it checks an J. You can see that condition, if condition is going to be false because J is not in the AI for you, we are using a membership operator here in if. So we can find that character is present in an AAOU or not. So now the condition is going to be false, and we are going to get another iteration, which is an I, and the font with its condition will be true. So font becomes 1, 2 plus 1. The so it's going to font becomes 3, and now at last iteration, which is an loop, count becomes 3 plus 1, which is 1, 4. So the final will be 4, and you can check in the VS Code once. Let's spin one more time and use the same output A E J O J I. You can see that output is given as 4. This is how it count the number of vowels in an string.